Hello, hello. If you've just logged in, welcome, welcome. We're going to wait for some folks to come into the room, and then we're going to get this started, this live teaching started in a few minutes, okay? Until then, I'm going to just play around a little bit on the piano. Just let me know if you can hear everything clearly. If you can hear my voice clearly, just comment a 1 in the section, in the comment section, the chat section. Just so I know that you can hear everything clearly, all right? Just type a 1 in on the chat section so I know you can hear the piano clearly, you can hear my voice clearly. Welcome in, welcome in. I see more people coming in. Welcome everybody. Good to see you all here. As I said, we're just waiting for a few more attendees and then we will get started in a few minutes, okay? All right, we have more folks coming on. I want to welcome everybody that is on so far. Thank y'all for coming to this live teaching. We're just waiting a few more minutes, maybe 1 more minute for some more folks to log in, and then we will get started. Like I said before, if you can hear my voice clearly, if you can hear the piano clearly, if you can just comment, type in a 1 in the chat section so I know everything sounds good for you. All right, great. I'm seeing some ones. I got a hello from Indonesia. Wow. Okay. Hello, hello. Greetings. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I actually just recently moved from Toronto, Ontario, up in Canada. I moved down to the US. So I am right now in Atlanta, Georgia, in the US. Okay. Someone said the piano sound is not clear. Can you hear it? Let me try turning the volume down just a little bit. Let's see if that helps. All right. Welcome, welcome. I see more people coming in. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you all joining us. Okay, so let's get started for tonight. I want to welcome everyone in. I'm so glad that you've decided to join me today. If you don't know already, my name is Elijah Muse, and I am the founder and head instructor here at Gifted Hands Music Academy. I'm so glad that you've decided to join me. Today, our topic is going to be on, I'm going to give you 3 simple steps on how you can take your playing to the next level and sound like a pro, okay? So we're going to give you 3 simple steps that you can take and use today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you decide to sit down and practice and put them into play. But you can take them and automatically implement them into your plan. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, about my story, and how I got to this point here. So I've been playing piano for about 20, 22 years, something like that. I started taking lessons when I was just a baby, about 2 or 3 years old. I'm classically trained. That's where I started off playing classical music. But both of my parents are actually in ministry. They're both pastors. And so I also grew up playing in church. So I kind of have that different dynamic of classical training with a gospel sound. And then eventually, like in my teenage years, late teens, I found an interest in like neo soul and jazz music, and did a lot of practicing, a lot of training, and a lot of learning in those genres as well, and kind of got that influence into my playing now. So this, I'm so glad to just be here teaching you all and showing you these things that I've taught. One of the inspirations why I wanted to do this today is just because I know for many, many years, I struggled to learn songs. I struggled to learn styles of music. I know when I transferred from classical to gospel music, it was such a struggle. I would be listening to songs and be so lost just because classical, I had sheet music that I could read and was pretty good at. And then jumping to gospel, there wasn't always sheet music. Sometimes I just had to hear people sing or hear songs and learn how to play them. So that difference, and then hearing the chords that are involved with that genre, hearing the melody lines are so different than classical music that it was a hard shift. And I didn't have necessarily anyone to teach me what to do, how to play, so I could play all these songs, right? And so I took lessons up until I was about a teenager. And then I got so frustrated that I actually just decided that I was going to stop taking lessons. So I stopped taking lessons when I was in my young teens and decided, man, I'm just gonna try to figure this out on my own. I was like, this is not working for me right now. I'm getting frustrated. And at certain points, I even wanted to quit piano altogether. It was so frustrating. And I heard friends that played, and it seemed like they were advancing and doing all these great things, getting all these opportunities. They were playing at all these amazing places, amazing venues, going on tour and doing all of these different things. And I felt like I was just stagnant in my plan. So I decided to quit and try to figure things out on my own. And I did, through trial and error and through many, many years of difficulty. I was able to do that. And so I just want to share everything that I've learned over my life, even though I'm fairly young. I just want to share with you all everything, all this, the tips, all the tricks, all the secrets that I found that have worked for me, as well as the things that have worked for my students and the people that I've taught. Because I also teach private, like one-on-one lessons, and have for almost 10 years now. So yeah, I just want to show you all of these things so that you don't have to struggle like I struggled. I know what it feels like to struggle. I know what it feels like to feel like you're stagnant, like you're not going anywhere, you're not reaching the goals that you want to reach fast enough. So that is why I'm here to help you all. So don't be afraid to ask questions. There is a chat section and a section to ask questions. At the end of the video, we are going to do a Q&A. So please stay to the end, and we're going to do a question and answer section. Any questions that you have about the information I discussed here tonight, or anything else that maybe has been on your mind for weeks and weeks, if you follow my YouTube channel, any questions we're going to answer at the very end, okay? So just a couple things I want to give disclaimers on is if you have your phone, maybe just turn it off, turn it on silent, or put it off to the side somewhere so you can focus here on what we got going on. And then as well, you might want to pull out a notepad. I'm going to give you a couple things that you can use that you might want to jot down some notes and set some reminders for yourself. Okay, and then like I said, at the end, we will have the Q&A section. All right, so let's jump right into it, okay? So, like I said, today's topic is going to be on 3 strategies that you can implement today to take your playing to the next level and learn how to play like a pro, okay? So the first strategy that we're gonna get into today is going to be to learn the language. You wanna learn the language of music. The second strategy that I'm gonna teach you is how you can practice less and still learn more and still improve. I know it sounds crazy, but we're gonna get into it. And then the third step is going to be, you wanna learn from people that have achieved something similar to what you want to achieve. You got to learn from the best. If you want to be the best, you have to learn from the best. Okay. So, first point, let's get into it. You want to learn the language of music. So, the way I view experience levels in music is in, like, there's 4 main categories for me. 4 main categories. I group them into beginner, intermediate, advanced, and professional, or like virtuoso. Okay, so you have these 4 different groupings, and with each section that you're in, or each experience level that you're at, I think there's certain things that you need to master in each experience level. Excuse me. There's certain things that you need to master in each experience level before you move on to the next, right? So, because if you jump to some advanced topics that maybe you're not ready for, you're going to stumble. And then there's a whole bunch of things in this middle section that you completely forgot to go over, right? So in order to be a well-rounded musician, in order to get to an advanced place where you can play any and everything that's thrown at you, you have to learn what each of these experience levels are and the things, the vocabulary, we'll call it, that is associated with each experience level, okay? So for beginners, right, I'm just gonna go over this real quick because I'm sure most of my followers are past the beginner level. Okay, I got a request to turn off the screen share while I'm talking. I got you. Let's see here. 1 second. All right, that should be better for you all. Hopefully you can see me better now. Okay, so here we are. Beginner level. When you're in the beginner level, there's some things that you want to cover, right? If you're in the beginner level, you are still learning your note names or your intervals. You're learning basic time and rhythm, basic triads and scales. You're learning your key signatures, chord qualities. Like if you haven't learned what a major versus a minor or what a dominant or diminished scale is, then we would still consider this in the beginner level. You're also learning diatonic chords, right? So your diatonic chords are just essentially, if you're in the key of C, you can go up from the in the number system 1 to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can play each chord that is associated with each number. Okay, so that's the beginner level, right? And in order to move on, I want you all to understand the concept of mastery. So if you're learning scales, right? You need to master your scales that you're learning before you move on to something else. And mastery just means that you have complete control, you have a complete grasp and understanding of what it is that you're learning, right? So I'm gonna go back to screen share real quick, all right? So here we are. So if I'm learning scales, right? And let's say I'm learning a harmonic minor, a C harmonic minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's a C harmonic minor. So if I'm learning that, in order for me to say I've mastered the C harmonic minor scale, I should be able to play it. Be able to play it up and down, and then you should be able to play it in other keys as well. So if someone says play an F harmonic minor, you should be able to play that. All right, you should be able to play it up and down, jump around intervals, and know it in every single key, that is the definition of mastering it, is that you don't have to think about it. You don't have to hesitate. When you play it, you just are able to, without thought, just from muscle memory, play it like a drop of a dime, okay? So, and then let's look at the intermediate level next. So with the intermediate level, you should be able to, oh, one second. One second here, y'all. Just trying to see the chat. There we go. So yeah, with the intermediate level, you should be able to you're starting your ear training. You should be able to recognize key signatures. You should know the number system to a certain extent. You should be able to hear melody lines and play those melody lines. And then also you should start at the intermediate level transcribing things. So if you hear a song that you want to play, you should be able to at least figure out the chord progression that's going on and be able to play that, right? So this may take some time, but it's definitely doable. In the intermediate level, we have chord extensions. So this would be a beginner C major chord, right? At the intermediate level, we should start adding extensions, C major 7s, minor 7s. We can go to the 9. We should start adding major 9 chords, minor 9s, and then we can even throw in like major or minor 11s. So we should start getting into chord extensions, right? Those types of things. You should also start learning the 2-5-1. So 2-5-1. We should learn that in every key in the intermediate level. Some other things to learn are modes. If you don't know what modes are, that's a great thing to learn, to start doing some research on, learn your modes. And then you have also minor scales and your pentatonic scales. Those are some things that intermediate levels should know and should master. After you've gotten all of these things, after you have that down and you feel like you're ready to move on, you've mastered all those concepts, meaning you can play them in every key. You don't have to hesitate to play these things. If I say play a C pentatonic, or if I say play F minor pentatonic, you should be able to do that at the drop of a dime, very quickly, without thinking about it, without hesitating, be able to do it, okay? So after we have intermediate level, then we can move on to advanced level. And so with the advanced level, we're starting to get into some altered chords. We're starting to do advanced chords, voicing. So we have like drop 2 voicings, rootless voicings. That is a part of advanced chords and chord voicings. We should have some advanced scales. So advanced scales would be like bebop scales, a diminished scale, altered scales, whole tone scales. All of these things are some advanced concepts. So if you don't know, like I said, just jot these things down, because these are things that eventually you are going to want to learn. And also, like, I have a list of the essential music vocabulary, or how to build your music language, that I'll send in a follow-up email after this webinar. And it just gives you some great points. Like, say you're kind of stuck with where you're at right now, or you want to learn how to start improvising or adding some new concepts to your playing, you can take a look at this list. And if there's something that you're not familiar with or you don't have down, you can check it out. You can look at some of my videos that are covering the specific topics, or you can look at, you can talk to a mentor if you have a mentor or a teacher, and get them to explain some of these concepts to you, okay? And then some other advanced concepts, though, are going to be improvisation, right? Which we'll get into a little bit later. Improvisation, how to play over changes, or how to kind of express yourself freely through improvisation. We have that. We have some advanced minor chords and scales, like minor sixes, minor major 7 chords. So like a minor 6 chord, let's give an example. I'm just gonna stay in C, since it's easier to see. So minor 6 chord is if we're at C, right? And I go to F. This is a major 7. This is a minor. This is a minor 6 chord. Okay? So like that would be an advanced concept. Minor 6 chords, okay? We have reharmonization. That's also an advanced concept. I'm actually gonna do some videos in the future on reharmonization. That's something I get a lot of requests on, but that's an advanced topic. And then playing outside of the key signature is also an advanced topic, okay? So all of these things are just things that you can start to implement into your playing today, that will help you get to that advanced level. But like I said, the main thing that I want you to get is that with each of these levels, there is, you have to master all of the concepts in the experience level that you're at. Once you've mastered all the concepts in those levels, you can move on to the next, right? Because like music is like building blocks. Once you learn a major chord, you learn the extensions from a major chord, right? If I know a C sharp major chord, then I'm gonna build off of that. C major 7 chord, then I'm gonna build off of that even more, right? And then from there, I'm gonna start learning how to run and how to improvise over that C sharp major chord, okay? So they're building blocks. Everything's a building block in music. So if you don't have a solid foundation, it's gonna be hard to advance. It's gonna be hard to learn more complex songs. It's gonna be harder for you to reach the goals that you want if there's a shaky foundation. So first topic, or the first point that I want you to do, is to learn the language of music, learn it, build a strong vocabulary by going through each section, not skipping, but slowly building up everything that you know. That's the first point, okay? Then next up, point number 2 is going to be to practice less while learning more. Now, I know to a lot of people, this sounds crazy. They're like, man, how can you practice less and still learn more? Like, that doesn't make sense. But what I'm saying is that you should practice less things. Don't practice less time. You need to spend time at your instrument. You have to put in the time to get things into your muscle memory, to memorize songs, memorize concepts, scales, licks, all of that stuff. But the thing that I found, this is like something that I found so helpful in my playing, and it's taken me to levels I thought I wouldn't even reach in a matter of months and a matter of years, right? And this is just narrowing down the amount of music that I'm learning. I know it sounds crazy, but when you take away some of the things that you're learning and you focus on one concept, it's so much more helpful, and it gets incorporated into your playing so much more. So I want to tell you this from experience. In this past month and a half, I've only practiced one song. In the past month and a half, I haven't practiced any other songs. Now, when I say practice, I mean when I'm sitting down at my instrument trying to get better, right? When I'm diligently and consciously working to better myself and better my playing. I work as a professional musician, as a full-time musician, right? So I have gigs and other opportunities where I have to learn certain music. So I learn music for gigs, yes. But when it comes to me sitting down and spending, say if I spend 2 hours or 3 hours sitting at the piano practicing, I practice one thing. And I've been learning this one thing for over a month and a half. And it's one song that's just total praise. I actually did a breakdown on total praise recently by the Rodney East Reharmonization. I did a breakdown. You should check it out if you haven't had the opportunity to. But I've been learning total praise in every single key, which is why it's taken so long. I'm learning it in every single key. I started in the original key, which I think is E flat. Learned it in that key, made sure I mastered it, right? And then after I mastered the basic chord progression, what I did was I took the song, right? I mastered it in E flat. And then what I did was try to throw as many concepts as I know, like passing chords, fills and licks, and still made it sound tasteful. I tried to incorporate all of the knowledge and all of the techniques and concepts that I have into this one song, right? So it is a lot. It's a lot. So let me just show you a little bit. So if I'm playing total praise, I'll play a little bit. Lord. So all right, so that's the song, right? That's total praise. And so what I do is I try to throw some passing chords in there, and like I said, as many concepts as I can to challenge myself. So what I'm trying to do, the concept is to incorporate all the stuff, the head knowledge that I have, because like, I know conceptually and theoretically a bunch of different things. Oh, I can put in this chord here, and I can put in that run there. But a lot of times the things that we know, the head knowledge that we haven't been able to implement it into muscle memory. So it's harder to put stuff that we know in our heads into our actual playing in rhythm and things like that, right? So what I've been doing is taking this song and trying to implement as many techniques as possible, like I said, in every single key, so that my skills get better. Because I was at a point, maybe let's say 2 or 3 years ago, I was working as a music director for a cruise ship company, right? And I had hundreds and hundreds of songs to learn, but I had a lot of free time to practice. And so what I found myself doing was like every day of the week, I had a different song or a different concept to learn. So like on Monday, I would practice a jazz song. On Tuesday, I'd start practicing scales. On Wednesday, I'd start learning a different song. And I had something different for every day of the week. And what I found was I wasn't getting anywhere. Like I felt like, man, I'm practicing 5 or 6 hours a day. I should be getting better than this at a faster rate. But I was spreading myself so thin, and I was trying to do so many things that it wasn't working. And even though I was learning a couple things here and there, I wasn't able to implement the things that I was learning into my playing because I hadn't mastered them and I wasn't spending enough time on one thing. So like I said, my hope is that you will find 1 or 2 songs. So this is what I want you to do. Take 2 to 3 songs, right? Take 2 to 3 songs that you really like and really challenge, and that really challenge your playing. But you hear the songs and you hear the piano part or the instruments going, and you're like, man, I love this song. I love the way that such and such plays this song. I like the chord voicings that they use. I like the way that they play it, whatever it is. Put these 2 to 3 songs in a playlist, right? Work on one song at a time, whatever song hits your heart the most, whatever song moves you the most. Take that song, learn it from head to toe. Learn the intro, learn the verses, learn the choruses, learn the bridge, learn the outro, learn it back to forth to back. And then what you want to do after you've mastered it in the original key, move it to every other key. So if you learn a song in F major, play it in F. Then after you learn an F, play it in F sharp major, right? And then after you learn an F sharp, you want to play it in G. And so on and so forth until you go through all 12 keys. Now, this is going to challenge you. This is going to take some time. And like I said, with total praise, for me, I've been working on one song for over a month and a half. And I'll probably work on it for another month and a half. It'll probably be that long. But the thing is, I've seen so many incredible results, and I've gotten so much growth. And I've seen like we'll say the passing chords that I use, the runs that I've been using in this song, I'm able to put them in every song that I play now. because I mastered it in one song and I know how to play it in rhythm and in time, I'm able to apply it to hundreds of songs, even if I didn't practice that specific technique in that one song, okay? So just narrow down the things that you're learning, take one concept, one song, and practice it solely for however long you need to until you can master it and play it in all 12 keys. And I know this may be a little bit difficult. If you play for a church or you play for a band or whatever organization or opportunity that you play for, you might have other responsibilities. You have to learn other music. I get that. Learn the music that you have to learn. Of course, if you work as a musician, you need to learn the music that you're required to learn. But when it comes to you sitting down and spending quality time on your instrument to learn and to grow, then what you want to do is, like I said, spend a lot of time mastering one thing. Master one thing and then move on to the next, okay? And that's gonna do drastic things. It's gonna make a drastic difference for your playing, all right? So step number 3 that we have today is going to be learn from the best. You wanna learn from the best so that you can be the best. If you know this one musician over here is absolutely fantastic, you love the way that they play, it can be an instructor, it can be a mentor, or it can be a professional musician. Like it could be, so many people love Corey Henry, Jacob Collier, Bill Evans, Chick Corea. There's so many amazing musicians out here in the world, right? So if you love the way that a specific musician plays, then I suggest that you really take time and study their songs, study their live videos that they have on YouTube, study their recorded music that they have on iTunes, Spotify, all those good outlets, and spend time really studying that artist. The more you listen to something, the more it's gonna come out in your playing, right? So if you listen to one song over and over and over again, you may not even notice it, but you're gonna memorize the lyrics, you're gonna know the chord progression. And so it's the same thing with an artist. If you listen to one pianist, if you listen to one musician, only the songs that they play for, say, 3 or 4 months straight, I guarantee that in that 3 or 4 months, after that 3 or 4 months, you're gonna find yourself playing the nuances that they play, playing in the same style, maybe playing some of the same chord voicings, because you've poured that into yourself. And when you pour something in, eventually it's gonna pour out, right? So that's my suggestion. Step number 3 would be to find either an instructor that you like, a mentor that you like, or a professional musician that you love the way that they play, and study their music in depth. Take a lot of time to just study the way that they voice their chords, the way that they play runs, the way that they solo, the way that they approach accompanying vocalists, whatever it may be. Just take time and study from the best, right? And I look at this as like, say you want to climb Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro. You want to climb this huge mountain, right? If you try to just go out there and climb it yourself, chances are you're going to get injured or you're just going to fail, right? You're not going to try to do something great or try to accomplish a task that you've never done before without having a guide. So what you would do is go find someone who climbed the mountain before, who has experience as a climber, and you're going to either get them to train you or you're going to get them to guide you up that mountain, right? You're going to have them show you the way to climb all the way up the mountain, right? So I look at music in a similar way. If you're trying to get to a certain level of playing, you have to have a mentor or an instructor, or you have to look at someone who's gotten to the place that you want to get to and have them help you, or just use their pathway, use the way that they took as a guideline for yourself, so that you know, man, this guy has gotten to an advanced level, or he's able to direct his church choir, or he's able to lead his jazz band in these ways. And I want to do that. Exactly what he's doing, I want to be able to do that one day. So what you should do is reach out to that person. And if you can't reach out, like I said, just study from them. But it's even better if you can reach out and find someone who instruct you, or train you in the things that they did, the paths that have been proven to show success. It's better to get those people so that you can expedite the process of growing. Because like I said, I feel like if I would have had a mentor that would have shown me the things that I was trying to learn, I don't know where I would be right now. I know I'd be way ahead of where I'm at. But having a mentor helps you to expedite this process, all right? And like I said, so if that mentor is me, Great. You know, I have the YouTube channel and I put out tutorials, and as well, I've launched now a new membership academy, Gifted Hands Music Academy, that you can join and get me as your personal mentor if you want. It doesn't have to be me though. It can be anybody. It could be, like I said, a professional musician. It could be a private one-on-one instructor that you found. It could be your mom or your dad if they play an instrument and they're amazing. It doesn't matter who it is, as long as they have the skills that you want and they have the ability to sit down and teach you the things that you want to learn and help you reach your goals. Okay, like I said, it can be me, it can be anyone out there. But you just want to find someone who can help guide you along the way. And this just goes back to, like I said, learning from the best to be the best. You learn from those who have done what you want to do. Okay, so after that, those are the three main points that I want you to learn from, right? So point one is learn the language of music, right? So like I said, step one, find what experience level you're at. If you're at a beginner, great. Intermediate, advanced, or professional is the fourth one, right? And professionals just have accomplished all of the things, they've learned all the material in the previous three sections, and then they've gotten it all mastered, they have it all memorized, and they can incorporate any concept, any technique into their playing, and that's made them a virtuoso, okay? So learn what skill level you're at, learn that skill level, and then, like I said, you can do this by downloading the document that I'm going to send to you after this webinar is over. It outlines every single thing that should be involved in each experience level. So pinpoint where exactly you're at, and then start learning the things that are in your experience level. So if you don't know what a diminished scale is, or if you don't know what a pentatonic scale is, then start there. Like, say, okay, I'm an intermediate. I see intermediate should know what a pentatonic scale is, or what a minor scale is, or what the Dorian mode is. So take those things, start learning that. Learn everything in your experience level, and then move forward. That's going to take some time, but like I said, you can do it. Now, step two, remember, is practice less to learn more. Don't practice less time. If you want to get to the level that you've always dreamed about, if you want to improve your playing, it takes time. It takes quality time sitting down at your instrument and learning certain things. That's just inevitable. But you want to practice less things. So don't try to learn 10 songs at one time. Learn one song, practice one song, and master that one song in every key, right? Incorporate all the ideas that you know, that you've learned, incorporate those things into that one song, master that first, and then move on. Like I said, this is one of the most crucial components I found to my own personal experience level increasing, and my students as well, is that when you spend focused time on mastering one thing, it carries over way more in your playing than trying to learn 10,000 things, because we can't do that. We as humans, we have to focus on one thing. We have to master one thing before we move on to the next, you know? As you multitask, you kind of lose efficiency. That's just a fact of life. When you focus on one thing, you're much more efficient. So I want you to be very efficient. Be the best and the most efficient musician you can be. All right, point two. Practice less, learn more. Okay? And then step three is learn from the best. So like I said, can be transcribing, taking videos from YouTube, taking recordings from whatever platform you listen to music on, taking those recordings, breaking them down, learning them note for note, not just learning the song, not just learning the chord progression, but learning each individual note, each individual nuance that your favorite player does, right? Have that, transcribe their stuff, learn their stuff, learn what they play, learn the ways that they play, and that will also increase your playing, and that will take you to the next level, all right? Find that person that has reached the point that you want to reach, okay? That's the best thing you can do. All right, so before we conclude, I'm just gonna give you a few other tips that you can use in your playing, that you can incorporate in your playing to take it to that next level. So I found that as well, the best teacher in life is experience. Okay, yeah, the best teacher in life is experience, right? So if you have the opportunity, please go out to concerts, go out to jam sessions, because you'll get to hear other musicians. When you go and listen to other musicians play, sometimes it's a reality check, and I get these myself. A lot of times I think, man, I'm getting really nice, and I'm getting really good, and I'm glad that what I'm practicing is making me so much better than I was a couple months ago, a couple years ago, right? You kind of get a big head sometimes, you know, and going to hear other musicians will give you a new perspective. If you go to a concert and you hear another musician that lives down the road from you and they're so much better, they're up here, you're down here, and you're like, man, how did this happen? How did this happen? Or like, what did they do? That will give you a fresh inspiration. I know it does for me. Like I hear them and I'm like, oh wow, well, this is something that I can, maybe something that I heard at the concert or them playing. I'd be like, this is something I can take home myself and I can work on, I can practice. Or you might hear a song, right? And you'll be like, oh yeah, I need to take something from this guy or take something from this lady that I heard and incorporate that into your playing, right? Oh, somebody said their screen just went black. Just try refreshing it. Or I know sometimes if you log out and then log back in, that corrects the screen issue. But yeah, so go out into jam sessions and hear other musicians. It's very inspiring. And then as well, when you go out to concerts or jam sessions and you get to play yourself, you're getting that experience of sitting down and playing with new musicians that may have different backgrounds. They may come from different training styles, different genre styles than you. That can be very effective because you can learn from other musicians and you get experience from playing on the spot and playing in real time. So it's not just about sitting at home and practicing all these things on your own. You have to get out there and implement all of the things that you're learning on a daily basis. You have to implement those things into your playing and you have to use them in a live setting, right? So when you use things in a live setting, there's a different feel. And like I said, that experience is one of the best teachers that you can have, okay? And then this also works for concerts. Like if you have an artist maybe that you play for, jazz band, artist showcase, talent shows, all of these things are great opportunities for you to go out, gain experience, and figure out even the weak spots. Because when you start playing live, that's when you figure out, oh, wow, I played at this concert the other day and I've struggled playing in this key. Like we played this song in E and I was a little bit hesitant when I played this scale, when I was trying to improvise in this key, or when I was thinking about the number system, or when I was thinking about a certain chord in that key. That will also spotlight the weaknesses in your playing so that you can go back when you go home and you start practicing the next day or the next week. You can be like, oh, hey, I need to work on this specific thing because this came up when I was playing that show, when I was playing in that concert, right? Okay, then another tool that you can use is listening to music that you're not used to. So I know a lot of us get caught in one genre. So say you're a jazz musician. If you're used to playing jazz your whole life, you're not gonna, well, you might branch out, but a lot of times people get caught in that one genre and they don't want to listen to anything else. If you're a jazz musician, you don't want to listen to classical, or you don't want to listen to pop, or you don't want to listen to Latin American music, or whatever it may be, right? So and I hear this a lot from gospel players as well. Gospel players come to me and tell me, hey, I really want to create a unique sound. I really want to play something different, but every time I sit down at the piano and I play, I get a gospel sound. Why is it? I'm like, well, that's because you're only listening to gospel music. If you listen to other genres of music, if you, as a gospel musician, start listening to jazz, right? Or something crazy, if you start listening to film scores, that's a whole nother sector. Or if you start listening to classical music, or blues or funk, all these different genres you can take things that musicians from these other genres do and add it to your playing, and it gives you more of a unique sound. It gives you something different, and it allows your ears to be trained to all of the other possibilities. Each genre has specific nuances that happen and nuances that you can use. But when you listen to other genres, like I said, you take different nuances. So like, let's take gospel music, for instance. Like gospel music, you have like shout music. A lot of churches play shout music. You have talk music. You have like this circle of fifths progression. Actually, I'm gonna go, let me see. I'm gonna go back to screen share. All right. All right, so yeah. Say I play pop music, right? If I play pop music and I want to learn how to get a more gospel-y sound, then I should listen to some gospel music. Because one thing that pop doesn't have is like these circle of fifths progression. Right? They don't have stuff like this. All right, so you won't hear that in a pop song. Or I haven't heard a pop song that you would hear that in, right? But if you listen to gospel music, you hear turnarounds like that, right? Or you might, if you listen to jazz, you might hear stuff like that, right? So my suggestion is just listen to genres outside of the things that you normally listen to, and you will start hearing things that you can add to your plan that you like, you know? Don't close yourself out because you're like, oh no, I don't like that style of music. Or no, I don't like this style of music, right? Give everything a chance because you never know what is going to add into yourself, right? So that's just another strategy, another tip, tool that you can use, okay? So the next thing that you can use as well is to find, I mentioned this earlier, but I still want to just reiterate this, is finding a mentor, okay? When you find a mentor, this is so valuable because so many times you'll get discouraged. I get discouraged a lot, right? You get discouraged. You may get stuck in your practice routine. You may be like, man, I don't know what to do. I'm sitting down at the piano today and I want to practice, but I don't know what to practice. I've been practicing the same thing over and over again, and I just don't know what to do, right? So if you have a mentor, someone that can help you in these rough patches, in the times that you're feeling discouraged, or the times that you're not feeling the most inspired to play, or you're just lost, like you feel like you've mastered the thing that you should master. You've mastered the things that you should master, but you don't know what's next. Having a mentor they're going to be able to point you in the right direction of, hey, okay, that's great. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you've taken these concepts. I'm glad that you've mastered them. Now, let's move on to this next step. Let's move on to this, right? And having a mentor will also help you to set a plan of action into place. Because so many people even have the head knowledge of what to do, but then now they don't know how to implement what they know into an actual plan and incorporate it into their plan. So they may know, oh yeah, I know what a secondary dominant is. A secondary dominant tells me that if I'm at G major, right? I'm in the key of G major. I'm trying to go to C. A secondary dominant tells me I can go to a note that's a fifth away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can make it dominant, and that will take me to C major. Somebody may know that, right? They may know that, but they don't know how to practice that. Or they don't know how to take that concept and add it into a song. When you have an instructor or when you have a mentor, they can help you learn these concepts, and not only learn them, they can help you implement them. And the best thing about it is that if you have somebody that's experienced, that knows what they're doing, they've probably learned through trial and error the best ways to learn something, because there's always multiple ways to learn something, but there's more efficient ways to learn something than other ways, right? And so that's why it's great to have a mentor that can guide you, I said, encourage you, and keep you accountable even. Because if you're trying to do something on your own, if you're trying to learn piano on your own, and you said, hey, I'm going to practice 2 hours a day, right? If I'm going to practice 2 hours a day, and I'm going to do it every day of the week, if you're doing that by yourself, if one day you're just tired, like you had a long day at work, or you had a hard day at school, or an argument with one of your family members, a girlfriend, whoever it may be, if you've had an argument, you're going to be like, man, maybe I just don't feel like practicing today. Or I don't feel like practicing this week. I don't feel like practicing this month. There's no one to keep you accountable. But when you have mentor, instructor, teacher there, they can keep in contact with you. Or you can tell them how you feel. You can communicate with them. Hey, this is how I feel, man. I've really been feeling down, discouraged, and these things haven't been working, or I don't know what to do. You know, they can give you that word, the extra words of encouragement that you need to be able to make it through that week, to keep practicing. That week that you wouldn't have practiced, you wouldn't have touched the piano or touched your instrument at all. You may speak to your mentor, your instructor, and they will give you that extra push that you need to sit down, to keep learning, to keep growing, and remind you of the goals that you've set for yourself, okay? And so, like I said, your mentor can be anybody. You have come here today, though, looking at this live webinar. So maybe you want me to be your mentor. Maybe you like the style that I play in. You like the music that I play, the way that I play, and you would like me to be your mentor. If that is the case, I would love to be your mentor. And that is why I have opened up the Gifted Hands Music Academy, which is our new membership site, to mentor you all, the folks that are serious about taking their playing to the next level. Today was more so a kind of a theoretical way that you can learn, and ideas and concepts that you should apply to your practice routines and the things that you learn. But in this Gifted Hands Music Academy, I'm going to discuss the actual musicality side of it. So chords, scales, progressions, everything that is involved within the skill set and making your skill set better. We're going to talk about that in the Gifted Hands Music Academy, right? And like I said, the main purpose of this academy is to help you reach the goals that you set yourself, okay? So let's say that you want to one day play for your favorite artist. You want to be on tour, right? Travel the world, be on the stage behind the lights and the smoke and the fog machines, and you want to be jamming out on your instrument. If that's your dream, amazing. That's actually something that I want to do as well. I want to be able to one day play for a gospel artist. I want to play for a big gospel artist or a big R&B artist, one of those two. I want to be able to play with them and travel for a little bit and experience music at its finest moment. That is one of my dreams. So if that's one of your dreams, I want to help you accomplish that goal. Or if you just want to be able to compose your own music, if you need to learn music to a point and understand theory, understand chords and progressions, to a point to where you can sit down and write songs and come up with chord progressions that go with maybe the lyrics that you're already writing. I can also help you accomplish those goals as well, okay? Or let's just say your goal is to lead your church ministry, or you want to be able to play in your local church. I've had experience doing that. I've been a music director for many, many different churches over the lifespan of my career. Oh, screen share is on. There we go. But yeah, I've been a music director for many, many different churches and organizations, companies for what, 10 years, as long as I've been playing professionally, right? And I know what it takes. I know the knowledge that you need to learn. I know how to teach harmonies and what all is encompassed in the, what's encompassed in the job description of, say, playing for an organization, playing for a church, or being a music director, being a director of a band or of a choir, right? So if that's your goal, I can help you accomplish that goal as well. And so all of these things is why I've created the Gifted Hands Music Academy, is so that I can have a very personal one-on-one relationship with you. So I know most of you probably follow my YouTube channel and you see all the tutorials that I put out on there, right? I put out a lot of tutorials multiple times a week, and I get so many requests, so many people asking for one-on-one lessons or asking for a specific song breakdown, or maybe they're asking for more details about the song that I broke down in a specific tutorial, right? And if I've already recorded a video, I can't go back and explain it in more detail. It's just, you get the things that are there, right? And a lot of people also ask questions, and I get so many questions and requests that I can't get to them all on YouTube or on Instagram. There's so many. So that's why I created this academy, so that the people that are really serious, that really want to take their playing to the next level, they can have that direct line of communication with me, so that I can help you through whatever issues it is that you're dealing with. Because in the academy, I'm going to be doing monthly live calls, just like this one I did tonight. But like I said, the live calls that we'll be doing in our membership site are going to be based off of the topics that my members have suggested, okay? So if one of my members wants a certain song broken down, then we might discuss that in a live call. Or if they want to know, hey, how do I get that neo soul sound? Like, I love Robert Glasper's music. I love the way that he plays, and I love the songs that he writes, but I have no idea how to play them or where to start. Then maybe in a live video, I will break that down. I will break down the secrets, the tricks, and the stylistic elements that Robert Glasper uses to break down his playing. Uh-oh, somebody just raised their hand. Yes, what's going on? JKB, raise his hand. Maybe it was an accident. Anyway. Okay, but yeah. So we're gonna have monthly live calls, like I was saying, to where we discuss one specific topic each month in depth. And this is all gonna be from the suggestions that you give me if you are a member of the site, okay? I'm gonna take those suggestions and I'm gonna do live calls every month for my members to discuss a specific topic in depth, okay? And then also, I'm gonna have exclusive lessons on this membership site that aren't on YouTube, okay? So like I've been doing a lot of longer 30-minute, 40-minute videos breaking down songs. I'm good coming from church. Okay, great, great, great. We have a couple of people that just joined, so glad to have you here. But yeah, I'm gonna have exclusive lessons on this membership site that are more in depth, and then they're also gonna have learning materials. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, do you have a MIDI file or do you have a chord chart for this song? So all of my lessons that I do on YouTube and that the exclusive lessons that we do on the membership site are going to have MIDI files attached. They're going to have chord charts attached, and even we'll have some lesson plans and notes on like ways that you can take a song or take your playing to the next level for each specific lesson. Okay, so they're going to be more in-depth lessons than what's on YouTube right now. So that's another benefit of you coming and joining the membership site. And then I think one of the biggest positives and one of the biggest benefits is, like I said, you're going to have me as your personal mentor. I'm going to be there to coach you along the way. I'm going to be there to make sure you reach your goals. Like I said, whatever that goal is, I want to help you reach it. And not only do I want to help you reach it, I want to help you reach it faster than you thought you could. If you thought it was going to take 5 years, I want to help you do it in 3 years. If you thought it was going to take you 2 months to learn one song, I want to help you do it in a week. I want to make sure that whatever goal you've set for yourself, you achieve it. And you not only achieve it, you go above and beyond the goals that you set yourself, right? So if you need someone to encourage you, to keep you accountable, or to give you a specific plan of action to reach the goals that you have set, or the goals that you dream of, the goals that you know you want to achieve, then you definitely need to join this membership site, because I will be your personal mentor. I know the struggles that you have to go through, that we as musicians go through. I know how hard it can be sometimes. Sometimes you want to quit. I've quit, actually. I've quit playing the piano multiple times. I say, yo, I've had enough. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm not getting no help. Like, this song I should have learned months ago, and I'm still struggling with this one song. Like, this is foolish, right? I get that. I've been there. I know how you feel. I know the discouragement that comes and seeps into your heart, seeps into your mind. I get it. And I don't want you to have to experience that ever again. That's why I want to be your mentor. That's why I want you to join this membership site, so that you don't ever have to go through that. The things that I struggled with, the things that I went through, the difficulties that I faced, you won't have to go through those things. Okay? And then one of the other great things about our community is that I want to teach you to learn how to make a living off of your craft. I know this is something that not many people go into. Most people talk about the skills and how to play this chord and how to play this run and this lick, and that's great. I think you have to. If you have a passion for music, you want to be the best that you can be. Of course, you want to learn as many things as you can, and you want to have freedom when you sit down at the piano and you start playing the song. I get that. That's a main goal of mine as well. I want to be the best musician, the best pianist, the best teacher, the best educator that I can be. But besides that, it's great to be all of that, right? But what's the purpose of me sitting at home, knowing all of these things, being able to play all of these fantastic things, if I can't go out and share this music, these emotions, this message that I have for the world? What's the point if I can't share all of this with someone else, right? And make money and make a living for myself? Why am I sitting at home struggling, learning all of these things? It doesn't make sense. So what I want to do is show you how you can find gigs, show you different avenues, different venues that you can reach out to, people and promoters that you can reach out to find gigs, right? I want to teach you how you can grow your network so that you come into contact with people who are going to call you and be like, hey, I'm looking for a pianist, or hey, I'm looking for a bass player or a guitar player, and you popped into my head. I'm paying such and such amount of dollars for this 2-hour event, right? Or someone's having a wedding. Hey, can you come play for my wedding, please? I've heard you. So I want to help you build your network and learn how to find gigs and opportunities that are going to put money in your pocket. Now, whether you want to do music full time, or if you're in school, you're in college or high school, and you want to learn just how to make a little extra spending change. You want to go out and eat every weekend, go out to eat every weekend. Or you want to buy your girlfriend or your boyfriend or wife a gift, not a wife. If you want to buy them a gift, or you want to do something special for your family, whatever your financial goals are, I wanted to help you make money from music, even better, right? I want to help you make money from music so that it's not just something that you do for fun. It's not just a hobby. It can turn into a career. I do music full time. 100%. I don't work a regular day job. I don't go to corporate America or to a corporate job. I'm doing this full time. And I want to help you, if you want to reach that goal, make a living off of music, okay? Let's see, we have a couple questions. Oh, I'm joining. I can't wait. Please post a link where I can join. Oh, that's great. Ayla, I think it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach the link. If you want more information on my membership site, I just commented the link in the chat section for you to sign up. Okay. So with this monthly membership site, or with Gifted Hands Music Academy, our membership site, you have two different options. We have a monthly membership plan and we have an annual plan, right? So our annual plan for one entire year is going to be $297. $297. Now, if you came to me and asked me to teach you one-on-one, my base rate is $75 an hour. You're going to get one live call from me every month. You're going to get bi-weekly lessons, masterclasses on in-depth topics. You're going to get a community of other individuals and other musicians who want to grow and learn with you that you can share experiences with, right? You get a community as well. And like I said, you get that one-on-one relationship with me. If you have a question, you can comment in the community section that we have, because like I said, we'll have a community section where we're discussing a multitude of topics. We'll discuss the business side of things. We will discuss music technology, so how to set up keyboards, how to set up a digital audio workstation, how to compose music. We'll talk about maybe like different programs. Say, if you're thinking about, should I use a keyboard versus digital software? We'll talk about things like that. And then we'll also talk about concepts, theoretical concepts, beginner concepts, advanced, intermediate. All these different things will be discussed within our community. And like I said, we'll have a masterclass section with weekly lessons. We'll have a live section in the school where we do monthly live calls just like this. And then as well, there'll be many of the learning resources. You have MIDI files, you have chord charts, you have lesson outlines. All of these things are included in the low monthly price of $27. You can pay $27 a month, which is going to be actually an early bird rate that you all get because you all have the first opportunity to sign up. I just opened it yesterday, and so you all are going to be the first one. So the price is going to go up in a few months. Actually, it's going to go up in a few months. I'm going to close the registration for the Music Academy next week, right? So you have 1 week to sign up. I only want a select few members because I want to give everybody that joins focused attention, right? So however many people sign up in this 1 week is going to be however many people are in the community. After 1 week, it's going to be closed for a couple of months, or I don't know how long, maybe a year, maybe a couple of months, and then I'll reopen it and it's going to be a higher price. So you all are getting an early bird special at $27 a month, or you can pay $297 for the entire year, and then you'll get, that's essentially 1 month free. So you pay $297, you get 1 month free, okay? And for all of the folks that are here on this call, I want to present to you a special opportunity, okay? Since y'all came to this live teaching, the first Gifted Hands live teaching, I want to give you a special deal, okay? For everyone here in this call, if you sign up for the Gifted Hands Music Academy tonight, I'm going to give you all one free 60-minute one-on-one call with me. All right. So I'm going to schedule you all a Skype, like a video lesson, Skype lesson, where we can sit down in depth, discuss your goals, discuss what you want to achieve, discuss what you want to learn. And we can discuss a practice plan on how to get there, plan of action on how to get there, or you can just sit down and ask me questions, whatever you want to do for this one-on-one call. You have 60 minutes. We can go over a song. We can go over a specific topic. We can go over passing chords, reharmonization, whatever you want to talk about in that 60-minute one-on-one call, we can talk about it, okay? But that is only going to be for the people who sign up tonight. If you sign up by midnight tonight, if you join Gifted Hands Music Academy tonight, you pay for a membership plan, I will give you one free 60-minute one-on-one call with me, okay? That's only for you since you all decided to join me in this live teaching. I want to thank you all for coming out and participating in the live teaching with me, and this is my special gift to you, okay? So like I said, just the link is in the chat section if you want to go join the website. And if you want more information on it, just click the link that's in the chat section. I just posted it a few minutes ago, and you should be able to see that now. So now that we went over all of that, we can get into the Q&A section, okay? The Q&A section. So if you have any questions, concerns, you want me to discuss something more in depth, we can go over that right now. Let's see, I have a question. I have Logic Pro and Yamaha Motif. and I would like to learn how to be a programmer and a good aux keyboard player. Yeah, definitely. So Logic Pro, Yamaha. Oh, be a programmer. So JKB, when you say you want to be a programmer, do you mean like you want to learn how to produce music, as in like create, compose music of your own, or do you want to be an engineer? Like for the engineering thing, that's not necessarily my expertise, but composing and producing, definitely I can help you with that. And to be an aux keyboard player, that's no problem. Like I've played for many concerts recently, even in the past year, played a couple different gospel concerts, youth concerts, worship nights, and I've played main keys and auxiliary keys as well for the different events. So I can definitely help you achieve that. It's great though, because actually, whether you're going to be a main keys player or an aux keyboard player, you should still learn the same thing. You should be able to do both, right? You should be able to play aux or you should be able to play mains. The only difference I think when it comes to aux is sound programming and learning how to create patches and sounds and recreating what you hear in records, right? That's a key component of being an aux keyboard player. But if you want to do that, I can definitely help you with that, okay? So definitely, if you want to check out our membership site, check it out. Any other questions, concerns? Anybody have any questions? Come on, send them my way. Okay, I see Ayla is saying that she can't see the link. Oh yeah, let me resend. I did do it all panelists. Okay, there we go. You should be able to see it now. The link is in the chat section. You should be able to see it now, Ayla. All right, so let me see. I'm looking through everything now. Oh, Q&A, here we go. Are there any gospel music books where I can read gospel music? There's no, so this came from 44204426. All right, are there any gospel music books where I can read gospel music? 4420, are you asking like for sheet music, gospel sheet music, or specifically just for like the concepts of gospel music? Which one? Because gospel sheet music, okay. Let's see, gospel sheet music. I think the main source for sheet music nowadays is going to be online. There's so many resources, music notes, I think sheetmusic.com. A lot of these websites create and transcribe sheet music for gospel players. So you can go just online. I don't know of any like hard copy books that go in gospel music besides like hymnals. But if you just go online and search for a song and you're looking for sheet music, most likely you can find it online and you can just purchase it online song by song. And then as well, I'm actually working on a book right now outlining gospel theory, like gospel and jazz theory, and how to get that gospel jazz sound. Because I have so many like, say, classical musicians or pop musicians who are like, man, I play pop music and I play these songs and I really want to learn how to get that gospel-y sound because it's definitely a different sound and a different chords that are used. So I'm actually working on a book right now that outlines that because gospel resources are very limited. You know, I think it's because there's so many musicians that play by ear in the gospel community that we don't really get a lot of books. It's few and far between where you see a gospel player who reads music, you know, and I'm one of the few. A lot of my friends that play don't necessarily read music, but it's something that is needed. And I think it would be great to have, like I said, a book that outlines all of the theory from front to back, like beginning to end, outlining different styles, the stylistic elements, all of those things that come with gospel music, you know, because there's so many different like denominations of churches and there's so many different things going on in the gospel community, and it would be good to consolidate it all into one helpful resource. All right, so I have another question. How many years have you been playing the keys? What's your music history? From anonymous attendee. Okay. So yeah, I've been playing for, I'm 20, 25, 26 right now. I don't even know how old I am. I'm 26. I've been playing for about 23 years. Yeah, so I started when I was like 3. I started being classically trained. So I'm just gonna give you the rundown. So I started playing classical music, or this thing called the Suzuki method, when I was 3 years old, right? And so the Suzuki method is pretty much this style of teaching where you have these tapes of classical music. You learn the tapes of the classical music, learn by hearing, and then that's where you have the sheet music. So you have like both. You have both dynamics. You have both resources to learn. So I started that until I think I actually started reading, and then maybe when I was 5 or 6, I started to strictly like read sheet music, read notes. I had classical training. Grew up participating in a lot of competitions and performance opportunities and showcases and things like that. And then I think when I was about 10 or 11, I really got heavy into playing in churches for youth choirs, adult choirs, singing and playing. And that's when I really like found a passion for gospel. And I kind of, at that point, I was like, man, I'm tired of classical music. I really want to go on to this gospel thing, right? So I got into gospel then, and like I said, it wasn't easy because there's the two genres are so dramatically different. I didn't have a teacher to teach me gospel. I had a teacher for classical, but I didn't have a teacher for gospel. And that was when I found a bunch of frustration, was trying to learn the gospel on my own. So I struggled with that for a few years, many years actually, and then eventually got kind of the gospel sound down. And then like into my teenage years, into my teenage years, that's when I got into jazz music, and like I think that's where my heart lies right now. It's still in gospel as well, but my heart lies in jazz music, just because the sound is so complex and there's so many different styles. You have Latin American jazz, you have Afro-Cuban jazz, you have American jazz, and then you have bebop, you have modal jazz. There's so many different styles. And then now you have like this modern neo-soul, hip-hop jazz blend. There's so many different styles, and it's such a beautiful sound. I think that's kind of where all my attention goes nowadays. Okay, anonymous attendee said, hello, thank you for this live teaching. Do you teach how to read music on your site too? Yes, I actually am going to have a couple tutorials on reading music. That is something that we are going to definitely cover. I'm going to start just with reading chord charts and lead sheets, just because I think for the majority of the audience we have right now, that is more of a usable skill, is how to read chord charts and lead sheets, like a jazz lead sheet. And just how to read a melody line. And then as time goes on, we are definitely going to go deeper and deeper into reading sheet music, into reading a full-fledged score. So yes, we will definitely cover that. Let's see. Any other questions? Any questions? Throw them my way, please. This is your opportunity to ask questions. And as you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to switch to screen share. See and play a little bit as well. Okay, so we got more questions. Let's see, let me pull them up. Oops. 1 second here, y'all. All right. Create sounds like C-Dub, Philip Feaster, David Outing, sign leads, synth leads to play aux keys. Yeah. So that's sound design, sound programming. From JKB. That's question from JKB. Hold on 1 second here. Let me pull up the Q&A section so I can see everybody's questions. So JKB asked or said he wants to learn how to be a programmer and be a good aux and keys player. So yeah, that's going to be something that we discuss in our music technology section of our site. Like I said, we'll have the community section and there'll be a bunch of different topics, but we're definitely going to get into sound design, sound programming, and like how to layer as well, like you said. Philip Feaster, man, I love him. Dope player. C-Dub as well, great. He has a lot of products, a lot of great things going on. But yeah, that's something we're going to discuss. I'm going to go into depth on gospel kind of music production, or not even gospel, just music production in general, how to create click tracks. That's a lot. I get a lot of requests on that as well. How you can create a click track, how to play along to click tracks, how to create stems. That's something that a lot of people want to know, is like, if I'm playing in a live concert or I'm doing a recording, how can I create stems or create these sound patches for specifically a song? one song. So I definitely go over that as well. Yes. I actually, and that'll be something fun. I love talking about sound programming, sound design. Excuse me. Because, well, I have a Nord keyboard. Let's see. Can you see it? I have a Nord keyboard, and I play for some corporate bands. And I do like gigs like weddings and things of that nature, birthday parties. And so for those gigs, I have to do a lot of sound design, like playing pop music. So Bruno Mars and Katy Perry and all those people. And so for that music, I have to do a lot of sound programming and sampling. But it's something fun. It's definitely something different than your average just piano with pads. But we can definitely talk about that and go into detail on that as well. Actually, that's something that I might do a whole live teaching on, because that's such an in-depth topic. Because you can go the digital way where you can create sounds on your computer. You can create sounds on your computer or on a program, or I create a lot of my sounds right now on the hardware, on the keyboard right here, on my Nord, right? The Nord has some powerful possibilities to be able to program sounds. So there's two different routes that you can take, the software approach or the hardware approach. So that's something that I'm definitely gonna have to do a whole live teaching on. I will do that in our academy, in our membership site. 4420 said, thank you so much for the live chat. Hey, thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. I really enjoy, I'm so glad that you all joined. I love you all. And thank you for participating with me in Gifted Hands' first live teaching. I really appreciate you. So someone else, Jasper Emmanuel has a question. My question is, when I am transcribing and trying to learn a song without a tutorial, I kind of have hard times figuring out the same exact chords being played. Even early today it happened, and I probably know what I need to increase my music vocabulary. But is there any other quick tips about that? Yeah, so the first thing you have on point is like the more chords, the more vocabulary that you know, the easier it will be. Because like for me, when I sit down and learn a song, it's easier to learn the song if I know what the heck they're playing. If I don't know the first few chords that they're playing, it's going to be almost impossible, because my realm of knowledge hasn't gotten to there yet. So then it's going to be even more of a test, because not only do I have to hear what they're playing and recognize it, I have to learn it, right? So there's two steps in the process. There's like when you're trying to transcribe a song, you first have to hear what they're playing, right? Be able to pinpoint each specific note. You have to hear the bass note that they're playing. You have to hear the melody line. You have to hear all the notes in between, whether it's major or minor chord. And then you have to, after you know the notes, then you can recognize, oh, that's a half diminished chord, or hey, that's a diminished seven chord, or that's an altered chord, right? So learning the language and building your musical vocabulary is a major part of that. And I guess the only other tip that I would have would be the slowdown function. I use the slowdown function when I'm transcribing songs. Like on YouTube, they have a slowdown function. On our membership site, if there's tutorials or playthroughs, because I'll play through all of the songs that I'm breaking down, you can slow down the playthrough and see exactly what it is that I'm playing in the membership site on my playthrough videos. And if you're trying to transcribe something on your own, you can also slow down the song if you're in YouTube. I don't know if you can do it on other, like if you're on Spotify or iTunes, I don't think you can slow it down. But if you find a song on YouTube and you're listening to it, trying to learn it from YouTube, you can go into the settings tab. They have playback speed. You can slow that down to 25%, 50%, or 75%. So if you can't catch something because they're playing it too fast, rewind, slow the song down a little bit, and then maybe you'll catch it after it's slowed down. And then, one other tip, I think, for recognizing like chords and melody lines, I take it one note at a time. A lot of times you might get overwhelmed trying to learn a huge section of a song. Right, so just have patience with yourself, because transcribing takes a lot of time. It does, and it's a skill. So when you first start doing it, when you first start transcribing songs, you might struggle. Even to this day, I still struggle sometimes when with some of the videos that I put up on YouTube. I don't get them in an hour, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I don't learn those songs in an hour. Sometimes it may take 4 hours. Sometimes it may take 8. Sometimes it may take 10. I don't know. It depends on the video and how complex it is. But be patient with yourself. It's not something that's gonna happen in 10, 15 minutes. It takes time. And sometimes you may need to split it up. You may need to learn. It's crazy, yo. For some transcriptions I've done, it may take me, no lie, 2 or 3 hours to learn like a 15 to 20 second or a 15 to 30 second section Like to learn, let's see. Let's see, we just did Change Me, right? I don't know how many people saw that, but I did a Change Me breakdown Tamla Man song. So that's like the intro, right? So now this song didn't take as long. This is a little bit of an easier song, but like let's say that's like 15 seconds right there. That's like 15 seconds worth of songs, the intro. Sometimes it takes, like I said, 2 or 3 hours just to break down that one simple section. So be patient with yourself, and it'll eventually come. And then also, if you're trying to figure out a chord, I would say like try to pinpoint the bass note first. What I do is when I'm listening to a chord, I'll try to figure out what bass note they're playing, and then what the top note is that they're playing. So if I hear someone play this chord right here, I'll play like this. If I hear that chord, I'm gonna be like, what the heck is that? I'm like, man, I don't know what in the world that was, but I like it. I want to learn it, right? So let's see, somebody plays. Right? One more time. So if I hear someone play that chord progression, automatically my ears perk up. I'm like, whoa, what is that? I need to learn how to play that. And so for me to play it, if I'm gonna slow it down, right? I'm gonna slow down whatever it is that I'm listening to. I'm gonna try to pinpoint this note first. So I'm listening, and usually I listen with headphones on. If you're not listening with headphones, that makes it 10,000 times more complicated. Always wear headphones when you're transcribing, because computer speakers or laptop speakers aren't going to be enough. You want to hear each frequency clearly. I need to hear the bass frequencies very clearly. I need to hear the higher frequencies very clearly. But yeah, let's say this is the chord. That's the chord I'm trying to learn. First time I hear it, I'm just gonna be lost, right? But if I learn this note, if I hear that note first, that bass note, man, I've already won 50% of the battle. Because if I hear an F on the bottom, most likely it's an F chord, right? So I know, okay, F is my bass. And then the next thing I try to do is figure out the top note, which is this G. I might have to search around a little bit, but eventually I find a G. I'm like, okay. So I have an F in the bass, a G in my right hand, and then I start picking out the notes in between note by note, right? So I guess after you have these two, the bottom note, your root note, bass note, and then your melody note, your top note. After that, actually, before I try to find the middle notes, I try to listen to the quality of the chord. So like this, I know this to be an altered chord. Like it's a dominant chord technically. So this is based off of an F7 chord, if you don't know. This is kind of complicated. This is based off of F7. Right? This is based off of an F7 chord, F dominant chord. So I'm gonna listen to the quality. If I hear it and I'm like, okay, that's dominant, then I know, well, if it's a dominant chord, I have a dominant 7, which is an E flat to go along with my F. This is the dominant 7 of F. I have to have usually a major third in there somewhere if it's a dominant chord. And then the other notes start falling into place, right? So if you're trying to transcribe chords, I'd say, yeah, first, find your bass note. Second, find your melody note, your top note. Find the quality of the chord. And then from the quality, you know there's certain notes. Like if I know, wow, this is a minor chord right here. Even if you don't know how to play it, you want to learn this voicing. You're like, okay, F is in the bass, E flat's on top, and it sounds somewhat like a minor chord. So I know there has to be this, A flat, this minor third here. That minor third needs to be in there somewhere. And then I know I need a flatted 7 that needs to be in there as well. And then from there, I'm listening. I'm like, oh, okay, there's a couple other notes. That's in there, and sounds like this 11 is in there. And oh, wow, I have a chord. And then you move on to the next thing, right? So that would be my answer to that. Any other questions? Have you ever studied Alan Merville style? Ah, yes, JKB. Yeah, I actually have. I've actually purchased a masterclass from Alan Merville. Hey, I believe in sometimes you have to spend money to be able to better yourself. You know, everything's not going to be for free. And if you want to get better, get to the next step, you have to pay for it sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes you should. And if someone's going to teach you something of great quality, you should pay for it. So I bought and yeah, it was I think the product was called Advanced Gospel Keys or something like that. Advanced Gospel Masterclass, something like that. But I bought it up. I think that was last year. I purchased it, and it was a great course actually. It was a lot of material, and he went a lot into like drop two chords. I think that's something that Alan Merville loves to use is drop two voicings, and then he uses like a lot of chord progressions. He uses a lot of out chords, like so we're in F major, right? Um, let's say we're in F major, and he does. I'm trying to figure out an example. Okay, yeah. So let's say I'm in F major, and my chord progression is 7, 3, 6, right? That's my progression. 7, 3, 6. That's the chord progression. What Alan Merville might do, he'll do something like that, which is just an embellishment of the 7, 3, 6. So what he does is like throw a bunch of passing chords to get to before he gets to the 7, 3, 6, right? But that's one of the things he uses. But the product that I bought from him, the masterclass that I bought from him, was absolutely fantastic. And if you don't know who Alan Merville is, for everybody else, you should definitely check out Alan Merville. He's a great pianist. I think he teaches at Berkeley College of Music, and absolutely fantastic. Virtuoso in his own right. Does some amazing things. But definitely check him out if you haven't already. Any other questions? It's almost been an hour and a half, so I'm going to end it very soon if there's no other questions. If you do, let me know now if you have any other questions. I'm looking. Thank you so much for the live chat. Okay. Any other questions? No? Going once. Going twice. 3 times. Gone. Okay. So that looks like it's all the questions. That's everything. Oh, somebody snuck in a question last second. Okay. One of the topics that I'm really interested in learning is parallel harmony. Do you have tutorials on that topic? Right now, I do not have tutorials on parallel harmony, but it's something that we can go into. Like I said, on the membership site, I'm going to be discussing all types of topics and pretty much basing them off of suggestions from my members. So if that's something you are interested in, it is something we can talk about, like parallel harmony, as in like contrary motion, or what do you mean exactly by parallel harmony? Just so I understand exactly what it is that you mean. Let me know. I need clarification. I know you have parallel motion, like, oops. Yeah, parallel motion, yes. I'm like, is that what you mean? Parallel motion, like parallel harmony? Well, I've seen many names: constant structure, planning, sidestepping, sideslipping. Oh, okay. Actually, yeah. So I have a video already on YouTube. It's a part of my passing chord series. I'm not exactly sure which one, but if you go to my YouTube channel, look up the passing chord series. There's one video on parallel harmony, as you call it. I call it sidestepping, yeah. So that's why I wasn't exactly sure. But there is a video up there. And then, like I said, if you join the community, I can discuss more in depth parallel harmony with you if that's what you want to learn. But you just like that. Yeah. I definitely covered that in one video already, but I can go more in depth. We can talk about it in the community if you want to join the Gifted Hands Academy. Okay. Let's see. All right. So no more questions. One more time. Going once. Going twice. Gone. Okay. So that's all the questions we will have for tonight. I want to thank you all once again for coming and participating in this live webinar. I thank you so much. You are all amazing. Thank you for participating in this very first free live training. There will be more to come, but like I said, I'm going to send out an email sequence over the next few days with more information if you are interested in joining my new membership site, the Gifted Hands Music Academy. But thank you. Until next time, until the next video that I post or the next time I see you, have an amazing day. Have an amazing night, an amazing week. Be blessed. I love you all.